my father and me, we didn't have a close relationship whatsoever. It was a
Okay.
bit challenging.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I didn't have Islam growing up. Islam
Yeah.
was not
Yeah.
presented to me, and I didn't even learn it through my family. My family doesn't practice any type of religion. They're very
Okay.
secular. So the way I was raised is by culture.
Ah.
And that culture, when you follow culture, you will see that there is an imbalance. There's an imbalance.
Ali, sorry,
Yeah.
you're from where you from originally?
I
So
was born in Iran. I
ah,
was
okay.
raised in the United States, but with Persian culture. So my parents are
Ah, okay.
Persian.
Okay, okay, got you.
So there was no religion ever presented in my family whatsoever. In fact,
Yeah, yeah.
at one point, if I tell them I want to worship idols, they would have no problem with that.
Wow.
So even when you go to regular non-Muslims, I mean
Yeah,
regular
yeah,
Muslims who are
yeah,
practicing, they're cultural, and you say I want to worship idols, there is a line they don't cross.
yeah, yeah.
That's how secular they were. So
Okay.
that's a very, very different upbringing. So when you're growing up that way,
Yeah.
the father's role and the mother's role and the husband's role and the wife's role is all cultural. It's nothing to do with religion.
Right, right.
So I saw that. I saw the injustice in the culture, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So when Islam,
Yeah.
yeah, when I discovered Islam, it was
Yeah.
very easy. It was very
Ali,
easy.
sorry, can I just stop you, bro? So from time to time, I'm just gonna interject on that because I want to ask you. So, what was the typical culture like? Yeah,
Persian culture,
yeah,
the
yeah.
father is the king. So
Ah,
what he says goes. It doesn't. Don't ever question what he's saying. There
ah,
is
okay.
men have far more rights than women do in Persian culture,
Right,
not in
right,
Islamic
right.
culture.
Yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
so
Yeah,
Islamic is a different situation. So
yeah, yeah,
when you see that, it just doesn't feel balanced. It doesn't feel fair. So, and when I saw that, I was like,
yeah.
that's not going to fly for me. But I didn't have any
Okay.
other alternative. Like I wasn't following the culture.
Yeah.
And growing up in America, I naturally picked up American culture.
Okay.
But not to the point that it's okay, disrespect your parents, all that kind of stuff. There's certain parts that I still follow. Like I still respect my elders, still respect certain things, still have certain mannerisms and behavior. But then there's other things that I did not believe in. I didn't believe in the
Bro,
father's role and the mother's role.
see, how was you able to navigate an identity? Because did you go through an identity crisis?
Yeah, I didn't have any identity. I don't know
Ah,
what I was.
okay.
So because you don't have any foundation, you just go
Yeah,
from one path to another, and then you pick up friends that you shouldn't have.
yeah, yeah,
Being around people because no one's guiding you. There was a huge gap. Let me rewind a little bit. There's a huge
yeah,
gap
yeah.
between my father and me as far as age. So my father, he became a father when he was in his 40s. Early
And
40s.
how?
That was a huge
Okay.
gap between father and son.
So what was the gap between you and dad like? So it was like from what age? Like at what age was your dad active?
Never.
Never.
Physically,
Wow.
no, he's not physically active. I'm the exact opposite. Even
Ah,
now in my
wow.
50s, I
Yeah.
still exercise. I work out probably twice a week, and I play basketball between
Yeah, yeah.
two times a week. And when I play,
Okay.
I'm going like 2 or 3 hours. So
Ah,
I
I
do
see.
in 30 minutes. So and when I
Yeah.
work out, I'm going supersets. Like I'm going intense workout. So my father, I don't ever in my life remember him like picking up even a ball of doing something. He was not.
Wow.
He's from not just a different generation, but
Yeah.
a different lifestyle. They come from a different era. It's almost like time travel. You
Bro,
know? So,
can I just conclude something? See, so was he quite traditional in terms of like just protect and provide? So just took care of the material things, paid for the bills, the clothing, the schooling,
yeah,
but not really much involved in terms of just you for your mental development and then
oh,
just
zero.
bonding. Oh, zero.
Zero.
Okay. So you went without a present father, let's just say from an early age all the way to adulthood, would you say?
All past adulthood. Even so,
What's adulthood?
he
Oh,
was
okay.
never really involved in my life. He would go to work and come home and be the provider and protector.
Ah,
So
okay.
me and my brother were pretty much raising ourselves.
How did that make you feel? I mean, like when you was growing up.
I didn't have a role model of what
Okay.
to do and how to do certain things as a man. So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, what I learned from my father because
Yeah.
of this connection. There's this natural, when you see injustice, even if you don't religious, you're not,
Yeah.
I didn't understand, I didn't know Islam, I didn't find Islam at that time.
Yeah.
But when you see injustice, you know it. Like it's like this natural fitra in human beings, you know, between right and wrong.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
try to tell people. They can feel like when they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
When I saw the injustice, I just knew that this is what I don't want to be. This is what I don't want to become. So I'm gonna basically do the opposite. So eventually, when I discovered
Yeah.
Islam, it was very easy to be attracted to it and be pulled into it because it was basically the opposite of whatever my father was doing.
Bro, can I just question you on that one? See, when you were talking about injustice, how do you distinguish from something that's injustice and that just being normal? Because if you're grown up, doesn't that come across like a normal thing? That's just the way it is. That's just how it's been done. Like, how was you able to distinguish?
How you treat the mother, how you treat
okay.
other people.
These things, yeah.
These are
Got
things
you.
that you see, how you treat people that are like, there's a way to behave and there's a way not to behave. It doesn't require like, even from people from different cultures and different backgrounds,
Yeah.
there is a line that you don't cross. Like, for example, when you get married,
Yeah, bro.
which book do you follow if you're not religious? That,
Yeah.
these are things I shouldn't do if I'm in an argument with my wife.
Yeah.
These are things that are okay to. These are the lines that we don't cross when you're angry at somebody,
Okay.
right? Like, for example, a
Yeah,
police
bro.
officer pulls you over.
Yeah.
And there's certain things we shouldn't be doing with the police officer. What if I want to fight him?
Yeah.
What if I want to fight him? There's no options that shouldn't be there. So for me, it was like, look, there are certain things that a father or a husband shouldn't do, even if they're angry, even if they're mad.
Yeah.
So when I saw certain things, I was like, you know what? This is a path I'm going to be the exact opposite of. There's certain things that I do with my own kids my father never did with me. Like, for example,
Yeah.
I'm very open with regarding finances.
Yeah.
I explain to him everything that's happening, the positives, the negatives, how to do certain things. I'm trying to be there for my kids, teaching them skill sets that they're going to hopefully be able to use for the rest of their life. Now, to be fair,
yeah.
my father was a natural businessman. So
Okay.
at the very young age of 8 years old,
Yeah.
he took me into his office. When the other kids were playing, by the way, I was sent to work at his office so he can teach me at 8.
Hey,
And my salary
mashallah.
was 50 cents a day.
Yeah.
It was nothing. And I was like, and then one day I remember seeing a television show.
Yeah.
And American kids, they would get something called an allowance. An
Oh, yeah,
allowance
go
is a
on.
payment that parents pay their kids. And I told my dad, "What's my allowance?" And he just looked at me like I'm someone strange. Like, what's an allowance? He said, "Oh, I've seen on TV, parents pay their kids money per week."
Yeah.
My dad took his wallet out and gave me $2. And I remember holding the $2 in my hand, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What can I buy with $2?" And he's like, "Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Go take that $2 and go make more money out of it." And
That's
I was like,
amazing. Mashallah. the principles are solid though, bro.
No. So
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a businessman, he was good. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
made it from there. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
father or this. From a
Yeah.
business perspective, he taught me a lot of like how to deal with this. At
Yeah.
8 years old, I was running the cashier. I
Yeah.
barely know math. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
running the
yeah.
cashier for the store. People
Wow.
coming in. I remember when I walked up to customers, "Hi everybody, how are you doing today?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah,
anything I
yeah,
can help
yeah.
you with? If you need questions, comments, please let
Yeah,
me know.
yeah,
I'm right there in
yeah.
the back." And someone looked at me like, "Are you alone? Like, what?
Yeah.
Joke?
You're
How old are you,
equipped.
9?
Yeah.
I
I get that.
Straight face, like, yes, I work here. If you have any questions, let me
Yeah.
know. I can help you out with this and this. And
Yeah.
I was talking like this when I was 9 years old. And this is because my dad threw me into the wolves and said, "Okay, go figure it out." And alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
that was a blessing because it
Yeah.
helped me learn certain ways of interacting with others and how to do business, how to have customer service,
Yeah.
customer relations. All those
Bro.
basic foundation helped me out through years.
In addition to what you're saying, that's what I was going to ask you. You know, when you was exposed to those kind of things, what kind of skills did you pick up during having those interactions with people? Because I'm sure that shaped you. Well, that was a part of you being shaped from later on. So, what kind of relationship skills did you pick up, bro? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I learned like how to talk to people. I learned like, okay, like
Interesting.
even if you compliment somebody.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
certain things I learned like when being like doing sales. Like for
Yeah,
example,
yeah. Go on, bro.
walks into a store and they
Yeah.
touch something. And when
Right.
whatever they're touching, you say, yeah, you compliment, you don't even say, "Hi, can I help you?"
Yeah.
You say, "Yeah, isn't that, it's really solid, isn't that?" And then,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it is." Or, "I really like that color." And you
Yeah.
just compliment that, and you instantly use that as your gateway into the conversation.
Ah,
And right there, you'll build a connection. Women, by the
Yeah.
way, they do this with each other. A female will
Yeah.
walk up to another female and compliment her. So I really like your earrings. Or I like your shoes. I like your handbag.
Yeah.
And the other person feels good. And then it's a gateway to start a conversation with someone that's a complete stranger.
so it's like building rapport, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Building
got you.
rapport,
Yeah.
Building connection, reading body language.
Te-
I forgot. Like those
Ali, tell me a bit about that because I find this bit fascinating, and inshallah, I'm asking these specific questions because it's going to tie in with what I'm going to ask you later on about marriage and all of these sort of things and that. But bro, so wait, you started getting these relationship skills from a young age, so you've learned about building rapport, And did you learn about communicate, how to hold a conversation as well?
Yeah, I mean,
During
I'm
that
a
age?
natural extrovert, so it was
Ah,
a bit
okay.
easier from my side.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that part came more naturally.
Yeah.
But because I already had that part of me there, it made it much easier to grasp the other things that you need for good communication,
Yeah, yeah.
good connecting with people, right? Just like being able to be a good listener, but having eye contact,
What does
nodding
that
when
look
people are
like?
listening.
What,
Kind of like what I'm
what,
doing right now. So I'm like,
yeah, 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 yeah. Fair enough, fair enough.
so it's like
Yeah.
if I'm just talking like this the whole time, yeah, okay, let's go. The people don't feel connected to you. You know, you
So,
have to feel connected to the person.
Ali, all right. So about listening, what are the things that you personally watch out for when you're listening? What does that look like to you, bro? Well, apart from this.
When I'm listening, if someone's
Yeah.
actually listening to me, you can tell the difference between someone's listening to you
Yeah.
and they're just hearing you. So
Okay.
if
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
hearing you,
Yeah.
they kind of like they're kind of looking at you, they're looking away.
Yeah. Yeah. The eyes are somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about what
Okay.
they're going to say next.
Yeah.
So whatever you're saying doesn't matter. They're just waiting for you to be finished so they can
Yeah.
start talking. And I know
Wow.
all of us have been in that conversation before. I've been in that situation before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I'm just
We've all
waiting
done
for
it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can start talking. So I'm not. There's no connection there. It's just like two people just going back and forth like ping pong. But when there is an actual connection, is both
Yeah.
sides are listening to each other, and they're adding or to that conversation, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Interesting.
it's almost like when it comes to matchmaking websites or
Yeah.
profiles. There are a lot of sisters who complain that men are not even reading my profile. The guys
Yeah.
are not reading your profile.
Yeah.
You just say salam, 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 salam. It sounds like something you sent 100 people. But the guys who probably break through that wall are the ones who say salam alaikum and they say,
Yeah.
I really like the fact that you spend a lot of time biking and it looks like you live in Malaysia. I went to Malaysia like twice so far. I really liked it. So it looks like you're actually read the profile
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're commenting
On specifics and yeah. I get exactly where you're coming
So
from.
when you're a
Ali.
good listener, you will listen to what they're saying
Yeah.
and then comment on something they just said so they feel like you're actually listening to what they're saying. Otherwise, if you ask me a question and I start talking about something completely else, so different, we don't have a
Yeah.
connection. There's some misconnection at a certain point. Maybe I missed your question or I'm a politician. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Just going on and on.
Just talking like whatever. So, yeah.
Ali, all right. So what about? Okay, so we've touched upon about building rapport. You got listening, and then what about body language? What did you pick up from body language?
Well, body language is a couple
Yeah.
different things you can do.
Yeah.
One is if you're not familiar with it, get yourself a body language book.
Okay.
I tell people, be careful about this because
Yeah, yeah.
once you do and you learn body language, you can't unsee it. So
What does that mean? Can you explain that a bit more, bro? Yeah.
you never knew. You always felt, I feel he's listening, or I feel she's not listening. I feel like you're
one
not
of
telling
those.
me the truth, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not 100% sure. But when you start reading body language and you're
Yeah.
much more sure than you were before,
Yeah.
you start saying, wow, they really don't care what I'm saying. This
Yeah,
person
yeah.
doesn't even believe what I'm saying. This person is not even, like, all these different things. Like, for example,
Yeah.
just body language, to give you an example, put
Yeah.
my hand like this,
Yeah.
you can tell I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between when I do this versus when I do this versus when I do this. Each one of those is a different type. And when you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
learning the different types, you'll learn that this is usually they're listening to you and they're thinking
Yeah.
about it, but they're thinking negatively.
Okay. Ali, because see what
Or
you just
or they're about to make an important decision.
see,
Yeah.
right. See what you've just done there, because there's also another one where you could do those, but it could be like soothing. I'm just soothing myself, or I'm just actually relaxing.
That's why you can't
or-
take one part of the body language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the consumption. Like, for example, I
Yeah.
cross my arms.
Yeah.
Naturally, in body language, that means they're defensive, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep in contact with keep in mind the other aspects of, is the room cold? Are they wearing
Right.
shorts?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
the
yeah,
room
yeah.
cold and their arms are crossed? It doesn't mean they're protecting themselves from the conversation. They're protecting themselves from the cold.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you can't just look at this and just come up with the conclusion, oh, they're defensive. No.
Would you say it's about patterns? Would you say about
a
okay?
combination of things? Like, for example,
Yeah.
when you touch your nose regularly,
Yeah.
that means you're either in doubt with what the person's saying or you are not being very accurate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, got
But
you.
that itself, what if their nose is actually itchy, right? So
Yeah, that's
what
true
you
as
have to do is look at the other signs, and
Yeah.
the sign you can see if the person is not telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Look at the pupil of their eye.
Yeah.
If their pupil of their eye is increasing dramatically, I'm talking about
Yeah,
50, 70% more than normal size while they're talking,
Yeah.
it will show you. Now, if you guys want to do this as a quick test for yourself,
Yeah.
go into the mirror, look inside the, look inside your, inside. Look at
The,
your
the,
eyeball,
yeah, yeah,
and then think of something insane. Think of something like dramatically wrong or whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then you'll see as your pupil of your eyes naturally increase. And there's nothing
yeah,
you can do
yeah,
about it. The other aspect is like you can just I look at different things. It's not just like people look at the hands a lot. You can
yeah,
also
yeah,
look at the feet. Where the feet
yeah.
are pointing is where they want to go. Someone's
Okay.
talking to you, and their feet is pointing this way. They're just waiting for this conversation to end because they need to go
Yeah.
somewhere. Not because they don't
Okay.
want to talk to you, but because there's something else that may be more time sensitive that they have to get to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or like you just watch body language. Me and you are talking across from each other,
yeah, yeah.
and as the third person walks in, if unless one of us moves and opens the door for three people to talk, that person is not invited into this conversation. It's more of a private conversation.
Absolutely,
But we don't
absolutely.
think
Yeah,
about these things. It's just
Yeah.
the nature that we were just pre-wired to do these things,
yeah.
and then we just do it. It's all human beings, by the way. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
yeah,
what
yeah.
culture you are, what background you are. Allah subhanahu wa
Ali,
ta'ala-
do you think it's really important to learn and pick up these cues in relationship dynamics?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do the- all, I can't tell you how much of my life I've used this.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
read my first body language book, I was in the 11th
Yeah.
grade. I read it from cover to cover. And I wasn't a kid that reads books.
Yeah,
I was working at the library at that time
Yeah.
and just walked around, found an interesting book to pick up, and I read the entire book in the whole day. And I've never done that in my life before.
yeah, yeah.
And then what I realized, I'm actually start utilizing all these things. And I went to a job interview for an Italian suit company, very
Yeah.
fancy suits company. But everything was very expensive.
Yeah.
So when I walked in for the interview, the gentleman asked me, after we've been talking for a while, he asked me, "Why should I hire you?" And I
Okay.
said, "Would you like me to tell you the truth, or would you like me to tell you what you want to hear?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He crossed his arms, he leaned back, and he says, "Tell me the truth."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, about 15 minutes ago, you actually hired me. And the reason I knew that is the same reason why I will probably be very successful in this position. I was reading your body language the whole time. Each time I would say something that you
Yeah.
liked, and I see you leaning forward and paying more attention, and you smiling. I would pick up on those social cues, and I would go further and further into that. But every
Yeah,
time I
yeah.
said something that you didn't like, and you leaned back, or you moved, you adjusted your seat, and things of that nature, I would change the conversation back to what you did like. So
Yeah.
the whole time, I'm figuring out what to do and what to say to be successful in this job interview. And the truth
Yeah.
is, about 15 minutes ago, you already hired me. And the last 15 minutes, we've been having chit chat, small conversation.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He said, "You're hired."
Because you built up that rapport, you understood the dynamics, and yeah, then I'll get that. Ali, all right. So okay, so in addition to that, what's your opinion about tone? So you got your listening, you got your visuals. What about the tone? Like what can you give the listeners a bit of gem in terms of like how to use their tone? Like what's your understanding on?
I just
Tone of
think
voice.
about it this way. If you
Yeah.
had a big disagreement with your friend,
Yeah.
a major misunderstanding, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
three options to contact this person. You
Okay.
can either send them a text message, which
Yeah.
is this generation what they pretty much do, but this is
Yeah.
a major conflict. Major,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
major
yeah.
misunderstanding.
Yes.
You can call them, try to talk to them on the phone,
Yeah.
or you can see them in person. You say, "Hey, let's
Yeah.
meet up for a coffee. We need to talk."
Yes.
Of these
Yeah, yeah.
three, which one is the best and which one is the worst? What would you say?
No, it's the face. The face. Face
Face
by
to face.
far.
What is
By
the
far.
worst
Yeah.
way?
Text. I'd say
Tell
so.
me
Yeah.
why you think each one of these is the worst and why is it the best?
Okay, so in regards to the text, it always gets misinterpreted because one, the way that I've written it, I could mean something completely different. That's one. Secondly, over the phone, I don't get to see your facial expression, or sometimes I'm just reading your tone of voice and interpreting it in a different way. But if I saw you now, you could clarify what the text meant, what the tone of voice meant, or what you actually mean when you said this, that. You know, so
Right.
that's the difference.
You just answered
yeah.
the question. So if on as you said, on the first one you said on the text message, I can't
Yeah.
even listen. I can hear your tone. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
reading your messages in my own tone of what I think you're saying.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
can read it really loud. Or
Yeah.
I can read it really calm. I
Yes.
can read
Yeah.
it high pitch or like you don't care. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
different ways because I just feel that's how where you're
Coming across. Yeah, yeah.
Just based on the words that I'm emphasizing.
Yeah.
How come you never tell people what to do? You know, I just emphasize certain things. The meaning of that sentence changes because I'm emphasizing certain things, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
And people do that when they're angry. Sometimes they hear what they want to hear. And the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
is when you do it via text message. The second is phone. At least on phone, you hear tone.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get that part mixed up. They're not emphasizing certain words in your head. You can hear it, right? But you
Yeah.
don't see their social expressions that you just mentioned right now. I can't see you. I
Yeah.
don't pick up social cues. I don't see like, hey, are you nodding, agreeing, or like, Or you're nodding your head, no way, I don't believe you type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't see that. But in person, all of that is removed and I see everything. When you see
Okay.
everything, that's why immediately, if you ask anyone this same question, they're always going to give you the exact answer. It says in person is the best way to do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to answer your question regarding tone, that's the second best thing you can do. If you can't meet in person, it's better to be on the phone. And if you're on the phone, the words you emphasize, the language you're speaking, even
Yeah.
the volume that you're speaking,
Yeah,
makes a
yeah.
world of difference. If you're yelling at somebody, even when you're reading a text,
Yeah,
it's
Ali.
all written in all caps,
Yeah,
the same words. And when it's written in lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, it's very different feeling when you're reading it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bro, see what you've just said. There. Even when you literally said read it in caps, do you know the first thought that popped into my head was this is quite aggressive because I would interpret it like you're trying to put an emphasis on something. That's why that you write in capitals. So I'm like, that's what I would have interpreted it as like. But what I'm trying to say is, see how we just through text it can be so misinterpreted just from using capitals because it might come across to me like, okay, you're rubbing it in my face. That's why that you're saying hello, like kind of thing. But everyone's going to interpret it differently,
you
innit?
someone says still waiting for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
write the word waiting in all caps.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still waiting for you.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. It's that things like that, and you're absolutely right.
And then someone
Ali,
reads it in their
Yeah.
tone, even though you haven't said it. And now you've capitalized words that shouldn't be capitalized.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
giving the person applications to read in a tone, total open door for misunderstanding.
Yeah, yeah.
These are small things that people don't really think about, but it makes a big difference because you may not understand
Definitely.
how your actions, how your behavior is being perceived.
Ali, but like, okay, so what about how would we use tone when we're having a face to face? So whether it's with my spouse, with my child, with my parent. So you were speaking about varying your volumes. Is there any other methods we could use to just improve our tone?
You know, one thing is
Yeah.
like when you just think about certain things, like I can ask my wife to, can you give me a glass of water? With sarcasm. With
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why are you talking like that for? That's how my wife's response would be if I asked her like that.
Yeah,
If I ask in a sweet way, can you please give me a glass of water? It's much more different response. I'm using the exact same words.
yeah, yeah,
I decide which tone to use.
yeah,
And because I'm angry, because I'm frustrated, because I'm fasting the whole day, whatever the situation is,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
excuse for her to pay the consequences of my bad day today.
yeah, yeah,
People don't think about these type of things.
Yeah, yeah.
End up becoming problematic for them different. So when it comes to dealing with children, dealing with your wife,
Yeah,
dealing
yeah.
with people, you have to like separate whatever outside interference has occurred on your day today, so that person doesn't even feel like you had a bad day or a good day.
yeah,
It
yeah,
should be
yeah.
normal. And this is something that requires a person to have a certain level of discipline. The same way you're supposed to have discipline, the same background that you're in right now, that gym,
Yeah, yeah,
requires a certain level of discipline if
Yeah.
you want to get to your goals. You can't just come in once a month and expect to be successful.
No.
Right? You have to be consistent. You have to be strong. You have to push away the pain, and you have to
Yeah.
push through. Right? When you're speaking to people, it's even more difficult than lifting those weights.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
It is the emotions and controlling your
Yeah,
tongue,
yeah.
controlling your temper. That is real strength. And a lot of people, they don't focus on those things. And the person, by the way, you can tell how strong someone is
Yeah.
when they're able to control themselves in a situation where everyone's going crazy, where everyone is emotional. A person who controls their emotions is a real, true sign of strength. And I
Ali,
think a lot of people that they see the opposite.
Yeah,
I think there was a man in prison one time.
Yeah.
He was telling prisoners, and these are prisoners that look very strong. And he say, look, all of us have gotten here because at one point in our life we were not able to control our emotion. With all the strength that we have, we made one poor decision, and now we're here because someone made us angry enough for us to be out of our character. And that's something to really reflect upon. You know, it's like there will be people in your life that will
Yeah.
push you. There will be family members that love you, but will
yeah,
push you.
yeah.
It's being able to absorb it and not push back in the same energy they give you. That takes a lot of strength.
Ali, do you know, in addition to, there's two things that I want to pull you up on. One was the first one is, you know, sometimes I personally find myself where my senses switch off and they're not as sharp depending on the person that's in front of me. So I'll give you an example. All of those things that we've discussed about eye contact, tone, psychology, building up the rapport, I'm sharp with people, say for example, if I'm in business and I'm talking to a person from the outsider, but all of a sudden when I'm home, why is it that my guard drops? Why is it that I'm not able to pick up the cues as quickly as I would if I were outside? Why is it that we're sharp at certain areas where we're able to pick up the cues fast, but it's very hard when it comes down to our relationships with our families? It's like as if our guard just drops completely, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Man. We're human beings. We're gonna make mistakes. You know. With the outside people, we're not around them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's not this consistent history of people pushing your buttons. You know, it's when you're at home, you're a different person. You know, as far as like your history with different people, different relationships, like your relationship with your parents. Very, very different. Your relationship with your children, very different. Right? Your relationship with your wife, very different. The dynamics, there's so many different variables involved. It's not together if there's been like trauma with the person previously with a different person, with their parents, and now they carry that baggage over to you. All kinds of different things can be carrying over and then can push on you. I tell people sometimes, you know, just from a male's perspective, I have 2 daughters. I don't have any. But I tell my daughters is like, you know, if the day like you guys basically want to get married, whichever person you want to marry, he has to be tested. He can't be a person who just live life comfortably.
Okay.
That's not going to be a real man. And so, what do you mean? Even if I tell my wife, she says, I don't understand that. Because from a female's perspective, it's the opposite. I don't need a female that's been tested and tested and tested, been through 100 different bad situations. I prefer that she didn't, because a woman being able to deal with, when she has stress, that stress comes with emotions.
Yes.
And that is why you hear with more female talks about healing and trauma. Men go through it as well. You hear more about it. I think it's hard. It's hard for people to go to war. I think it would be even harder for females to come back from war and they killed a bunch of people type of thing. It's harder for them because their brain is not designed to compartmentalize, to separate emotions, and because their natural nature is very, very different than a man's nature, right? So when it comes to like a husband or father, they need to go through toughness. They need to go through hardship, not toughness, hardship.
For the daughters, is that for the daughters, or are you talking about the sons?
For the sons, men need to go through hardship in order for them to become strong. And when they come out of it stronger, it's like the iron that sharpens iron. You need to go through trials. You need to go through difficulty. You need to go through a situation where you had nothing. You build yourself up. And you lost everything, and you build yourself up. You hit rock bottom, and you build yourself up. That is a man who's far more prepared to be a husband, to be a father, because he has already felt the pain. But a person who's lived a life of comfort, where everything's been taken care for him for his whole life, he's not...
Interesting. Ali, wait, hold that thought right there, bro. Okay, I want to add something in what you just said. So a man's been tested, he's been battle tested, he's had his downs, he's just hit rock bottom. But what about after that situation? There's 2 things, the way that I see it, that could happen. One, you either rise from it and become better and stronger and grounded, or there's the second thing is you become a victim. So you've been tested, but then rather than the test brings out the best in you, you just turn into a victim even more. And
that comes down to the character aspect of it, right? Think about this aspect. Look at every single superhero movie that you see. Batman to Superman to name it. They're all the same. Spider-Man, they're all the same. All happens to be orphans. They all went through some trauma in their life. None of the superheroes had lived a life of comfort. They went through some dramatic things. Watching your parents being killed in front of you, Batman. Or Spider-Man, your things died. Your parents had died. Your uncle, the one's taking care of you, has passed away, and all these different situations that you're left alone. Trying to do things on your own. Superman, your parents are now, you're now orphaned, and you live in a completely different world. It's almost like moving to a new country as an orphan, have nothing to start with, right? All of these people went through trauma. All of these people went through dramatic trauma in their life. But how do they respond to that? The exact opposite as the villains that they fight. The villains that they fight also went through trauma, but the story doesn't tell you exactly what trauma they went through. You can tell by some type of physical scar that they have, or that they have, or some anger that they have. They went through something, right? All of these bad guys went through some pain, and sometimes they tell you a little bit of the story. The person was betrayed. The person had and actually, all the villains started as good people, by the way. But they were hurt, right? Now you have the superhero and the villain. What is the difference between the two? The superhero has felt pain. The villain has felt pain. But each of them responds to the pain differently. The villain says, look, I felt
Yeah.
pain. I want to make sure everyone feels the same pain I do.
Yeah.
In fact, I want them to even feel more. I want this whole world to be destroyed.
Yeah.
The superhero says, I felt a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure others do not feel the same pain I do.
Yeah, I
So
understand
both
that.
of them, it's not an issue of gone through pain or being battle tested, as you said.
Yeah, yeah.
The issue is how do you respond?
Respond. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When I tell people who are looking for marriage and you're talking
Yeah.
to each other for marriage, ask them questions on how they responded to different situations and pay attention to that response. For example, instead of
Yeah.
asking like, "Oh, are you a good person?" or "How do you?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ask them a question like, "Tell me someone at work that you have no control over, like because you don't choose your coworkers, right? Or someone that you go to school with, or someone within your family, but don't mention anyone's names.
Yeah.
I don't know backbiting. So just tell me a challenge you have with because your personalities clash. Maybe they're very liberal, you're very conservative, whatever your situation is, you clash. How do you deal with somebody that you clash with? And whatever you've tried, you cannot make your peace. They do not want to. They're not easy to work with. They
Yeah.
don't want to even make peace. How do you deal with these people when you have to have these people in your life? From your coworker to your relative, you can't make them not your uncle, not your cousin. You're going to see them at gatherings.
Yeah.
How do you deal with people that think so differently from you, especially when there's conflict and there's challenges? That answer, there's nothing they have prepared for. There's no right answer to say,
Yeah.
right? So this is how you kind of figure out how they respond to adversity.
Ali, wait, but see, in saying that, is there a tact or technique to ask those types of questions? So I'll give you an example. If I were to ask it how it is, they could be on performance mode. It's like, okay, so I'm being like they'll come across as an integration rather than the tact. For example, we'll find it out in a casual conversation. For example, is there a technique in terms of asking those type of questions? Because if I ask it directly, already they're on the alert mode, and like they would tell me what I want to hear rather than what I really need to hear. You see what I'm saying, bro? Yeah.
If you do that, that
Yeah.
means you prepare the correct answer for them. And the way you
Yeah.
avoid that situation is
Yeah.
by making multiple answers seem correct based on how the person thinks.
Yeah, yeah.
So the way I countered this is when I was looking to get married,
Yeah.
I asked a series of questions, but I made sure both answers appeared correct.
Okay.
But nobody knows what my preference is. Like, for
Yeah, yeah.
example, I may ask the question, do you think the world needs more justice? Or do you think it needs more mercy?
Yeah.
Now, the
yeah.
person who chooses more justice, they're more fair. And the person who chooses mercy, they're more forgiving.
Yeah.
Of the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one is the most just, one is the most forgiving. So there's two different ways you can have gone, but I may prefer a spouse who's more fair, while you may prefer a spouse who's more forgiving.
Yeah.
But I'm not asking you, are you more fair or more forgiving? Even though you can still ask that question directly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just asking in psychological ways, so you don't even give me the right answer
Yeah.
because there's no right answer. Or let me ask you another question. When you're speaking to people, since we're talking conversation
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
do you prioritize being kind or do you prioritize being honest?
Okay. Oh, is that a question to me, or
I'm
you just?
saying, like,
Oh,
that's a
you just said that.
question.
Yeah.
So this counters what we were talking about earlier about a person telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to hear. I don't know. Based on our conversation so far, you probably choose honest.
Yeah.
Only because of how you introduced when we started this video early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You're honest. Give
Yeah.
me your actual display. I don't want some fancy back.
Yeah. 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 Of course.
I want the real Baba.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'd
yeah.
rather
That's
have
what-
honesty than you just being kind.
Yes,
It
exactly.
sounds like based on we just meeting now,
Yeah.
that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
So, but a sister would say, which one do you prefer? A husband who's more kind or a husband who's more honest?
Yeah.
Both are correct. Now,
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
want a husband who's more dishonest or
Yeah.
a husband who's more honest, obviously you're going to say honest.
Yeah.
Who's not?
Yeah. Of course.
So
Of course.
the creative and smarter way of asking questions is by asking questions that where both answers appear correct
Yeah.
based on how people think differently. So
Can you
that-
not get the opposite though? Like, so rather than two answers, another option.
Another
Option. Yeah. Yeah. So
What
rather than
I would
get.
do is I would
Yeah.
give if we're doing scenario based.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give a scenario. And I'll
Okay.
give 4 options and say
Ah.
which one would you choose? It's almost like those video games you play.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A fork in the road, and you go A, B, C, or D, and all four paths. I don't know where they're going to lead to.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just going to choose the path that makes the most sense to me. I'm not overanalyzing because I don't know what this actually means.
Yeah.
I just say, of these 4 options, what would you have done? For example, you have conflict with someone at work.
Yeah.
You could just go to your supervisor and say, hey, this person is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Number two is you can try to go speaking to them and say, hey, is there a problem between us? Because I think there's some type of miscommunication.
Yeah.
Number three, I'm going to ignore this person and just pretend they don't exist. You know, there's different ways you can, it's like when someone has conflict with somebody. Some people like to get away and just to reset and process everything. Some people want to talk about it immediately. Some people deal with issues more with patience.
Yeah.
Some people deal with proactive solutions. Everyone looks at things differently. Like some people when it comes to money.
Yeah.
Like here's a creative way I would ask about questions about money. I would ask, instead of saying, are you a spender
Yeah.
or are you a saver? I say, when it comes to money, do you think more about financial stability or financial freedom?
Ah, okay.
Financial freedom means
Yeah.
you are more likely want to be a spender.
Yeah, yeah.
Financial stability means you probably are more of a saver.
Yeah, yeah.
But those, instead of saying spender and saver, which may have
Yeah.
a positive or negative association, you have financial freedom, which is a positive association. Financial stability is a positive association.
So it's
You
like
have to be creative in the way you give the answers, not just the questions.
okay. I get
Everyone
that.
thinks about
I
questions
get
like,
yeah.
Like, okay, give me the top 100 questions to ask someone if I'm looking to get married,
Yeah.
right? Or interview. Give me the top 100 questions to ask them for interview. No. Give me the creative answers that I can give them as options that they can choose from, where they all appear correct.
Okay.
Or ask questions they have never been asked before.
Yeah.
Like, for example, going back to the marriage topic again,
Yeah,
or
well.
you can use this for work too.
Yeah.
If it comes to work, let's just say, let's do a work interview question.
Okay.
that I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
almost guarantee you none of your listeners have ever been heard before.
Yeah.
No matter how many people have watched the show right now, and
Yeah.
how many people have been to job interviews, they've never heard this question by any employer.
Okay.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't marry you. No, that's for marriage.
Yeah.
Why I shouldn't hire you. Give me one reason why I shouldn't hire you.
Oh, shouldn't I? Oh, okay.
Not hire you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true because
What would you say? What would you say if this was a thing and say, okay, tell us one reason why I should not hire you?
Ali, first of all, this is the exact response that I would respond. I'll be like, hold on a second, wait. My brain has to register it and think, there's not something I could just file like that, Yeah, like I get that. It sort of stuns you. You're like, huh? Okay. Yeah.
But really what I'm asking, by the way, in that situation, is I'm asking, are you been honest with me the whole time? That's the question I'm asking. I'm not asking about why I shouldn't hire you.
Yeah.
Because if you respond in such a way and you say, I can't think of one reason why you shouldn't hire me. It's almost like the same question you ask in job interviews. Tell me a weakness about yourself. Oh, one of my biggest weaknesses is I'm a hard worker.
Yeah.
And you come up with stuff like that. And they've heard these 100 times. Right?
100 times, yeah.
What they are truly asking is trying to figure out if you're being honest with them.
Yeah.
If they know what they're getting, or you've been a really good talker.
Yeah.
You've just been really great at job interviews, right?
Okay.
Or in the marriage process, you're really good in the courtship process. You're really good, know what to say. But the way you separate the authentic versus unauthentic people is by asking a question like I just did.
Yeah.
Because if the person comes back and says, listen, I've never worked at this company. And one reason why you shouldn't hire me is because I don't know some of the social dynamics of the different people here. I don't know some of the proprietary software that you guys use. I don't know certain things about this company that people who've been here for 10 years know.
Yes,
But
that's right.
with all that said, I have a strong work ethic. I have a very strong track record of learning things very quickly, and I'm able to pick up different things and different skill sets in lightning speed. And I have a positive mindset where I feel like, I can be vulnerable and tell you exactly what I told you.
Yeah.
And still feel confident enough that I can get this position because I'm a very strong asset to any company who hires me.
Yeah.
When you come in with that type of attitude and positive mentality, anyone can learn a skill set.
Yeah.
They can't change your character or your personality.
Yes. Agreed.
So it's the same thing. It's like if I'm going to train someone for working out, I can have the person could be like physically tall person or look like they have strong muscles, but they don't have a bad attitude, bad work ethic. They don't come for training.
They're not coachable.
They're uncoachable. They don't listen like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do that. I'm going to do this instead. Like, are you the coach or am I the coach?
Ali, quick question about that is as well. I'm kind of going off the tangent. Okay, when someone's searching for a spouse, is looking for someone who's coachable a good thing?
If they're comfortable, what do you mean?
No. Okay, like so. Say for example, I'm after a spouse, and I've got an intention to look for someone who is coachable, Meaning, okay, so how do they respond to my requests? My experiences, do they take it on board? Do they, respect it?
Do you
Is
plan to lead?
Yeah, of course, yeah,
If you plan
absolutely.
to lead, you need to find someone that wants to be led. And if
Right.
someone
So
wants to be
yeah,
led, they will have attributes of someone who wants to be led. And there are
yeah,
people who want to be led,
yep,
and there's people who will push back on leadership. And now that pushback
right,
could be, oh,
yeah,
I don't trust people because of my past. I
yeah,
don't trust people because of my parents. I
right,
don't
right,
trust whatever your trauma is and your past is has all,
yeah,
with all due respect, nothing to do with me. But it's almost like about going back to a job interview.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I need someone that wants to learn this position. Well, what if I don't want to learn this position?
yeah, yeah,
That kind of attitude. Well, I don't like to be trained new things. I don't like learning new things.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
walk in with that thing, this job is not for you. I
Of
hope you're
course,
successful wherever you go. I need a candidate that has certain characteristics
yeah,
that's going to fit into this role, and because this is my role and this is your role. So
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
things I tell people, instead of wasting a bunch of time with people that are not uh, compatible with you,
yeah,
is I ask questions that help you filter these people out very quickly. For example, one of the questions,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
these questions, notice the consistency between them. They don't have right or wrong answers.
yeah,
What is the role of the wife in your view? And what's the role of the husband in your
yeah,
view?
yeah,
That you say, if I get married, this is what I envision marriage life to be like.
yeah.
This is what I want.
Okay.
Because this, if they're trying to tell you what you want to hear, then they're probably going to be submissive anyways, and they're going to be like supportive anyways.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't care. But these are the kind of questions that even the people who try to tell you what you want to hear, they hold their ground because this is
yeah,
their deal breakers. These are things that they say, okay, this is the way I'm envisioning things, and this is the way I'm looking. Now, if you get this question early on, before you get to wasting time, weeks, months talking to somebody,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can quickly figure out if you're on the same wavelength. or if
Wavelength,
you're
yeah.
very different.
Interesting, interesting,
It's
bro.
asking the right
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
early on. Instead, what people do is there is no class, there's no khutbah, there's no thing that people go through. Okay, what questions to ask when I'm looking to get married?
yeah,
What they do is they just wing it. They go
yeah, yeah,
online, they Google it, they ask
yeah,
friends, which I ask, and they just come up with their own mind of things, and they have no experience in this.
yeah,
And what I try to tell people, and whenever I do workshops or do podcasts like this
yeah,
online,
Ali.
I try to give them advice on how to do it because no one ever gave us this information. I had to learn the hard way myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I never
Hands
taught
on.
me
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things. So instead of learning the hard way yourself,
yeah,
it's better to learn from people who've actually been through the process. There's a
yeah,
very interesting saying that says the difference between intelligence and wisdom is
yeah,
intelligence is when you learn from your own mistakes,
yeah.
and wisdom is when you learn from the mistakes of others.
Others, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The difference between someone who's intelligent and someone who's wise. And a wise person listens to somebody. I can go study science and do experiments and do everything, and it'll take me maybe 15 years of my life to come with some conclusions about science, some scientific things, right? Or I can read a book of someone who's did this for 15 years, and they wrote all their analysis in a book that I can probably read in a couple of days. Maybe the
Yeah,
smartest is me to spend 15 years of my life dedicated to this field to learn what this guy learned, and he summarized it all the
that's better. Yeah, it's a better option. Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
the wise
yeah,
person versus the intelligent person.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that,
So
Ali. I get
people who
that.
listen to this podcast
Yeah,
and are taking notes and paying
yeah.
attention to these things that they didn't know about before,
Yes,
they
yes.
apply these things that took me years to
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out
yeah,
trial and
yeah.
error, and now they can jump 10 steps ahead to
Yeah.
hopefully be far more successful than I was.
Absolutely, Ali. And see, on that point that you just said, that's what I'm trying to be. Before I met you, I was trying to be intentional with my questions, but keeping the conversation like coming off the tangent, on the tangent, and that. Yeah, but the theme is that to get those gems before we actually get involved in a relationship. What are the tools that we need to once we get into a relationship? Are we able to navigate it and just continue? But I'll come to that in a bit because Ali, this is so deep because there's you've just opened up a whole flood of other topics, but it's I'm trying to get the essentials from you. What is, I'm going to circle back to your upbringing. So that we've touched upon when from childhood to teenage years. I'm going to skip it now. I'm going to go into your adult years now. So you're married. At what age did you get married, bro?
I think it was like 27.
27. And what age was the when you had your first child?
I think it was 29, 28, 29. Yeah, that was about 2 years later.
Ali,
Year 2 years.
yeah,
And I got married at when 3 weeks before 9/11 happened. So
Okay.
getting my wife's paperwork to come over and all that process took
yeah.
much longer than expected. We would not expect. I thought she was going to come live with me in a few months. It took a year and a half later for it to come to live with me.
Yeah.
And it was challenging in that aspect. So there was multiple layers of challenges involved
Yeah.
because, you know, and she's not coming from like, she's coming from the UK. I live in the US. So it's not
Okay. Okay.
countries that are actually allies with each other.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because of all the stuff that's going on with the politics, it just takes forever to get anything processed because
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
got shut down. Everyone got shut down, not just me. It's like everybody, not
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who are not Muslim. Everyone got shut down. So I lived in. It was a very strange time to try to do everything.
Yeah.
But once my wife was here, our family life just became much more normalized. But initially, didn't start off normal. So when you're asking questions, when
Yeah.
you have your child, when
Yeah.
you get married, all this stuff, things took a little bit longer than expected.
Ali, but my thing is this: it's I'm more interested to know how you navigate these challenges. What was your mindset like? What was your the times that where you just lost it, and then how did you regroup yourself? How did you manage all your responsibilities? Like,
All of us have different weaknesses. I have many.
yeah,
Many.
okay, yeah.
One of the weaknesses I don't have is I don't have a temper.
You don't?
Usually try to say, yeah, alhamdulillah, I have zero. Like zero temper. My wife would tell you like how many times in 25 years of marriage, if I've even yelled or raised my voice, even my kids.
Yeah.
I have zero temper. So that, alhamdulillah, I have strength. So even though I work out, as I was mentioning earlier,
Yeah.
the real strength, as I said, is being able to hold your temper.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't get pushed. Like when I play sports, when people play dirty, that's what pushes my buttons.
Yeah.
When I see injustice of people doing things to people, that it really bothers me. But being able to stay calm in those situations, it just took discipline. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when I go exercise myself, it takes discipline to go out there and be consistent. I don't need someone to call me and motivate me, listen to a motivational speech. No, I wake up for Fajr to go pray. I don't need a motivational person to motivate me to pray. Other people are different. They have challenges with, and you need that strong. So what keeps me stronger for certain things, and that is because of his. When you have your understanding, your belief very, very strong about something, it doesn't take. You don't require consistent motivation to keep you. Reset that. Like I'm already convinced that this is the way to do things. You don't need to convince me about Islam each day. I am 100% intellectually convinced that this is the path for me. So when I go that strong path, that's because I'm intellectually convinced, not because I just feel something. Right. So to answer your question is, when you are intellectually have a conviction about something, whatever it is, you're much more stronger to be consistent and be able to stay calm in certain situations to battle this. Because all of us are human beings. Even myself, as I said, there's ways people can push my buttons. But it's like the more you strengthen yourself and discipline yourself in certain situations is when you prepare yourself when those things come up. But yeah, we all, our creator has designed all of us, so we all test
in so many different ways, bro. Yeah.
You'll see some people who have a disability, like, I don't know how I'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
That person is being tested with something because they can handle it, but you can't. Somebody else gets tested with their child passing away. No a parent cannot think of any harder test than that. While some people have lost multiple children. How would I be able to deal with that? Maybe you can't. But maybe that's the reason why you were never tested with it. But you're tested with something else. Someone's tested with poverty. Someone's tested with wealth. Yeah, it's not a blessing. It could be a negative thing because you keep that wealth and you use it in the wrong ways and stuff like that. Or you waste it. Some people are tested with time. Like you have no time. Some people have too much time. They don't know what to do with it.
Ali, right? Okay, so so bro, do you know what it is? Sometimes I'm sorry to come across frank and abrupt because it's not that I'm like not interested, because there's so many things that I want to, because I got you here, I want to try and cover and just extract from you because it's subhanallah like
because there's so much stuff we have to break this into 2 different podcasts. So.
Amazing. I'm up for that, bro. I'm up for that. Subhanallah. Bro, I was going to say, you mentioned that you've been married for 25 years. How did you maintain? Are you, in this stage, are you maintaining, are you surviving, or are you thriving, bro, in your marriage?
In August, it'll be 25 years.
Yeah.
Marriages have, no matter what it appears on the outside, no matter how
of course.
people on social media,
every
marriage has their arguments. There's been times I don't talk to my wife. She's frustrated with me, I frustrate her. There's been times we're best friends. There's times we go up, it goes down. That's real marriage. That's real life.
Absolutely,
and
bro.
The marriages that survive for that long is not just people who are attracted to each other. It's people who can tolerate or endure each other's weaknesses. Can deal with the person's flaws, and they can deal with your flaws. people can adapt to certain situations and
Yeah,
be
yeah,
in
yeah.
certain situations. That's real marriage. The stuff
How,
that are people, yeah, go ahead.
bro? How do you develop that? Is that something that goes through time, or like, what, is there any rituals that you can do to develop that what's that word I'm after? I'm after resilience, the
Yeah. So for
fortitude.
me,
Yeah,
the reason I am the way I am is because
yeah,
of Islam. Before I was a practicing Muslim, before I understood anything about Islam,
yeah.
I was a very different person. My
Okay.
behavior, my mannerisms, my way
Yeah,
I carry myself, my mindset
yeah,
is because of my religion.
yeah,
If
yeah,
my
yeah,
religion wasn't there, I would not be the same person as I am now.
yeah,
It's taught me how to behave, how not to behave, how to
yeah,
interact, how not to
yeah,
interact. Even though, and by the way, these are the rules of the game. So even though you know the rules of a sport, it
yeah.
doesn't make you good at that sport. You just
No,
know the
no, no, no,
rules,
no. Yeah, just
right? So
yeah, 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 yeah,
knowing the rules and knowing the certain things so you can do for training to prepare yourselves for that sport
yeah, yeah,
helps so much more than a person who doesn't know the rules and doesn't know any what to do to be successful, what to train yourself for.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I've learned myself, the more I come closer to my creator and doing things the right way, the easier it has become for me to be a good father, a good husband, a good neighbor. Like my
yeah.
neighbor is like, he said, he've had neighbors. I think most of the neighbors in my community are Jewish people, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
he's Jewish as well.
Yeah,
And he, I think he told my wife, he says, look, of all the people that have lived here and come and gone, I have a lot of respect for your husband.
yeah,
The
yeah,
first day before you guys moved in here, he knocked on the door, he introduced himself, he shook my hand,
yeah,
he
yeah,
said, oh, I just want to get your permission because I'll be doing something next door. Does that bother you? Are you okay with that?
yeah,
My neighbors never really asked me these kind of questions before, and that means a lot. And like other things he sees from us is like, if something happens like during the pandemic,
yeah,
we ask him, do you need anything? Do you need anything? If he needs an emergency, if there's an earthquake that happens, we call him and say, are you okay? Is everything, if everything you need, if
yeah.
you're going on vacation, just let us know. We'll check on your house and stuff like that. All of these things, like I have all these neighbors that no one even says one time to check on me, and the Muslim people come,
Yeah.
and I see something different about them. So
Yeah.
that behavior, that action, is because of the way your relationship is with your religion. So that's the
Yeah.
reason I am the way I am. Now, with all that said, as I said earlier, I have a lot of flaws, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but my
yeah.
wife is one of the few people in this world that can deal with me and my flaws.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
finding
yeah.
someone that's compatible that can work with. That's why I tell people when you're looking to
Yeah,
get
bro.
married, don't just look for someone you're attracted to. Find someone you can tolerate. Find someone that you can like work with. That hey, I can get in an argument with you, and we can make this thing still be okay.
Bro, wait. How do you find that out when you're just trying to get to know someone for
Okay,
marriage?
I do these events, right?
Yeah.
One of the I design these activities at my events. I may design about
Yeah.
14 different activities.
Yeah.
One of the activities I designed called Spark Sessions. And Spark
Okay.
Sessions, you sit across from somebody, and on your phone there will be a argument
Okay.
that you two are going to argue now. You're going to
Yeah,
pretend
yeah,
you're
yeah,
husband and
yeah.
wife for 3 minutes, and you're going to argue like a husband and wife. And it
Ah,
said
yeah.
something like, for example, you have an amazing job opportunity, but it requires for
Wow.
you to move away 3 hours from where you guys live right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Your wife or your spouse, could be a husband or wife, says no, let's stay here because our parents are here,
Yeah.
our family is here, all our friends live here. You say, no, this is a once in a lifetime job opportunity. It may never come back again. We can always move back if it doesn't pan out, but we cannot lose this opportunity.
Yeah.
They respond with, certain things are more important than money. Then you respond with, yes, I understand. I'm not trying to be rich, but I want to provide a certain lifestyle that makes you happy and comfortable, because when you don't have that lifestyle, then that causes friction. Then that person says, no, I'm not going to. This is back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a real life situation. I'll give you another example. One of the things that come up on my
Yeah.
app is that when your parents or your in-laws are getting very involved in the way you're raising your children,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crossing their line. They say, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be this. And they're telling you guys how to raise your kids, and they're going beyond of being mama and baba, and they are trying to control everything. Your spouse doesn't like that, but they don't want to start conflict. It's bothering you that your spouse is being bothered. How do you deal with this? So
Ali, can I
these are
just...
real arguments that you guys are having with the person. And when you're having real arguments, the question is not did we resolve this conflict. The
Yeah.
question is, when we argue, are we able to argue with each other? Can I see myself being able to deal with this person? Because every relationship is going to argue, but not every relationship manages to figure out how to argue with each other and how
Yeah.
to resolve conflict. Because those who are the ones who end up staying married. Those who don't I don't care how attracted you are to each
Yeah.
other, you end up staying single and becoming single again.
Bro, do you know when you're mentioning these things, there's something that stood out to me about your journey, and it's fascinating, bro. It's like when you told me, like when we was talking about the relationship with your father and what he done through that action in terms of getting you involved in business. What I found about that is so fascinating, because he wasn't involved in your life that much, or according to what you were saying, but he exposed you to a skill, that one skill that kind of set you up for life. It's so fascinating through that.
You know what's interesting, bro? It's like all the different people you come across in your life,
Yeah.
including like your parents, or your father, or your mother.
Yeah.
Each person gives you something sometimes, or would you
Yeah.
take things from them? And that's all of that, in addition to your own life experiences,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah.
learned, what you haven't learned,
Yeah.
makes you who you are.
Yeah.
How you respond to things makes you who you are.
That's
So, like,
fascinating, Ali.
My business sense came from my father, and
Yeah.
it came from his father. It came from his father.
Yeah.
And then for my mother, I didn't learn anything about business.
Yeah.
But she showed me other people's skills that my father. didn't
Yes.
have.
Yeah.
All of these things, combination has made me who I am. My friends right now
Yeah.
are a reflection of me. I tell people who are looking to get married, you know, sometimes they're going to tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes they're going to try to put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know who you're exactly talking to, right? But their friends, they're not going to do that with them. They don't want you to marry their friend.
Yeah. Of course.
So they're
Yeah.
going to be much more transparent, much more honest about who their friends are. So
Yeah.
ask questions about their friends.
Yeah.
Find out what's consistent that you notice about their friends. If all of their friends drink, then very, very high chance they drink too. Because why would a bunch of people who drink hang out with this person? There's a reason why they do. If all their friends are active and physically active, they're likely to be physically active, even if you haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
Because why would they want to hang out? What commonalities do they have with each other?
Of
So
course.
there's certain things that you look. So you ask questions about their friends.
Yeah.
Tell me about like three of your friends.
Yeah.
Your favorite friend, the not so favorite friend, and the friend that's I don't know. We're just childhood friends, but we still consistently talk to each other.
Yeah.
We are very, very different. Tell me what you like about each person. Tell me what you dislike about each person. Tell me and then just look for consistencies. You're really learning about them. Their friends are a reflection of them.
Absolutely.
And that's how you really kind of get a better sense of who you're talking to. But people don't think this way. Like they're not thinking.
No, they
outside
won't.
the box. They think very linear.
Yeah.
Right? So they ask A, B questions, and then they're shocked.
Yeah.
You have no idea who I married. I know all these things that go down. And
No,
like,
but
well,
Ali, see, in saying that, do you think that that there's a skill before we get married that we need to learn? And it's like what you highlighted through your lived experience is those fundamental communication skills, those fundamental skills in listening, psychology, body language, all of these, like sharpening your cues in a communication. Like, I don't think that the preparation is emphasized enough before the marriage, bro. It's marriage, but no, hold on a second. There's a step before that needs to be as much emphasized as marriage itself. You know, yeah, go on, bro.
Son or daughter want to start driving.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just give them the keys to the car and say start driving.
No,
They're
no,
sent
no.
to a driving school.
Yeah.
Where they first learn the rules of driving. Then
Yeah.
they're sent to driver's training, where someone takes them and drives around the streets.
Absolutely.
To make sure they can physically drive.
Yeah.
Then they're tested to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure they can physically drive, and then they're giving a piece of paper or a license that says you are now allowed to drive.
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you put the
yeah,
keys in
yeah.
their hand. What we do with marriage is we just put the keys in your hands and say,
Yes.
"Good luck."
Yeah.
All works
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah.
This is why I think people need some type of premarital class where they're actually learning about what marriage life is going to be
Yeah.
like. They need to learn
100%.
assessment
100% agreed.
about themselves
Yeah,
and
yeah,
their
yeah.
spouse that they're marrying, and learn
Yeah.
about the differences. Like I have a website called Half
Yeah.
D, and when people are looking to get married, they go on this website and they fill out this profile, and the other person fills out this profile.
Yeah.
When they fill out the profile, there's a button called the analysis tab. When they
Yeah,
click
yeah.
on analysis, it looks at around 250 data points.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
about yourself and that person. And it tells you where you think alike, where
Yeah.
you think differently, what type of challenges you're going to have, where you're the opposite certain parts, that you're the opposite
Yeah,
way of
yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
and what that means in marriage. And then it generates questions that you guys should ask each other based on these differences that we've noticed about.
Yeah. Of course.
So when
Of course,
you
Ali.
see all of this layer, it's like, wow, I never even thought about it. So now you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah,
I'll give you
yeah.
a quick story.
Yeah,
There was this organization, I think it was in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
They said before anyone gets married,
Yeah.
we ask them to come and sit down. They want to get married. They say a husband and wife wants to get married.
Yeah.
They have them sit down across from a table from a husband and wife who've been married for 2 years.
Okay.
And that husband and wife are going to talk about what marriage life is like after 2 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Then they're going to get up and they're going to walk out. Then
Okay.
another couple walks in, they sit down across these people again.
Yeah.
And these people have been married for 20 years. And
Okay.
they're going to talk about what marriage life is like after 20 years of marriage.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to get up and walk out. Then the imam comes in and he sits down and talks about for 2 hours all the different types of marriage issues he hears about. After this husband and wife have been listening to this for 6 hours,
Yeah.
they ask him, do you still want to get married?
Mm.
Because what this does, it brings all that fantasy social
Yeah,
media
yeah, yeah,
marriage
yeah.
life down to a ground level and says, this is what marriage life is like. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah.
bad and terrible that run away
Yeah,
and
yeah.
never get married, but it's not all paradise either.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
pluses and minuses. It's like, oh, I'm going to get a job and everything's going to be perfect. No. Sometimes it'll be easy days at work. Sometimes it's hard
Yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah,
jobs
yeah.
or managers are amazing to work with. Some are terrible to work with.
Yeah,
There's going to
yeah.
be ups and downs. Does that mean I'm never going to work a day in my life? No. It just means be prepared so you know what you're getting yourself into. So when things don't happen to work out exactly the way you envision, you don't just get divorced and just go marry somebody else.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
marry the right person. No.
Yeah.
Marriage is tough.
Yeah.
Even the people like myself, married for 25 years, he said, oh, everything was perfect. No, there's ups and downs, lefts and rights. But the question is, how do people deal with adversity? How do they deal with challenges? Those are the people who end up being successful.
Yeah.
So it's to ask, probably your question to ask me is like, how do you prepare yourself for the situation? How do you train yourself in situation?
No, you
is-
answered it. This is exactly what we need. We need that kind of training, and I think that you've set up something like that, isn't it, Ali? Or
I don't
like
have a class of premarital workshop or anything.
okay.
I want to like give a class, but I think
Yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't come. I do workshops. I go to different community centers
Yeah.
and do workshops. They invite me. And this has accidentally happened maybe in the last 2 years or so.
Yeah,
First organization asked me, hey, since you're doing a marriage event, I host single events. They said, can
Yeah.
you do a marriage workshop the day before or the right before it? And I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
It was very successful. So another organization said, hey, can you come and do a workshop for us too? And I
Yeah.
said, fine. And I did another one, then another one, then another one. It just became a
Ali,
domino
see
effect.
that the process that you was talking about, the preparation before marriage. Something that occurred to me as well, because I thought to myself, okay, if I was someone that wanted to get married, I would be impatient to go through all of this, because I would see the sister, and I'll think, I just want to get married to her, or the guy or the girl, because there's that stage where it's a physical thing, and sometimes when you see the physical thing first, it sort of bypasses all the stages, the training that you need to do. It's because I thought, okay, if that were to take place, some of the obstacles we could be facing is, okay, I've met you, I like what I see, and I may not have the patience to go through all this training. I just want to marry you, and then later on I'm going to find out, oh man, what have I done? Why did I get married in the first place? You know,
The question is like, I really want to drive, but do you want to keep your car?
yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
want to get married, but do you want to stay married?
But that's it. Yeah, exactly.
70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
from the
yeah,
male perspective, the male audience who are listening, it's not even your choice if you want to stay married.
yeah,
So if you don't understand how female mindset works,
yeah,
or
yeah.
how she thinks differently than you,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
the way you would treat the brothers, you're going to deal with an unhappy wife, and an unhappy wife is going to be an unhappy life for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
when you come home and you want peace and tranquility, you're going to have conflict and drama.
Yeah.
And that's because you don't understand your wife. You're
Yeah.
trying to interact with her in the way you interact with men. So the premarital class isn't some boring lecture to give you. The idea
Yeah.
is to help you understand who you're trying to lead.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
a true leader, you really need to understand. If I want to be a general for the army. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. You understand how the army works. You understand how the
Yeah.
formations work, how the discipline works.
All
how
of
the-
these. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't, I just
The
have to be a
specifics.
general.
Yeah,
A real, then you're not ready to be a general.
that's right.
If
That's
you want to
right.
be a manager of a company, do you understand what we sell?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know our
yeah,
process?
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
our product? Do you know our
Yeah.
customers? No, I just want to be the manager. Well, you're no need to be. I don't think you're qualified to be our manager.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a person who's really looking to get married and serious about getting married, he's going to learn, and she's going to learn what it takes to be a good husband, what it takes to be a good wife.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't have the patience to learn for that, then you're not looking to get married. You're just
Yeah.
looking to be married as far as the status. But
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be married, it takes a lot more, right? There's a
Big
lot
difference.
of people
Big
who
difference.
who want to be married and at the same time be single,
Yeah, yeah.
right? There's single people who want to have the marriage status, of, hey, I just want to have some place to go have dinner with my husband or wife and go out on vacation with them.
Yeah.
They envision marriage to be like that. They don't see the hard part about it. Marriage is not designed for you to be happy. You don't judge and say, okay, I'm going to divorce as soon as I'm not happy. Well, guess what? Do you want your spouse to divorce you as soon as they're not happy at any point in the relationship? No. I wish you would talk it through. And,
Yeah. There you go.
You're like, okay, I'm going to divorce when I'm not happy, but when it comes to them not being happy, no. The reality is marriage is not designed to make you happy. There are great things that will hopefully make you happy, but there will be times you will be mad at each other. There will be times you'll be frustrated. It's like two siblings. When there's two siblings, there will be times that you're still siblings, but you frustrate each other. You think differently. You're around each other all the time. It is natural. It's the nature of the human being. So, but the question is, can you come back from all of that and make your peace? That's the question. That's the reason why I did that exercise of like arguing with each other in the marriage event, is so you can see, can we make peace? That's the key. I don't even care what you're arguing about. I just want to see, can you make peace with this person that you're talking to? Because if you can, then trust me, that marriage is more likely to work out. You two being very attracted to each other will only be good for the first phase of the marriage. But after a certain point, it's not going to do anything extra. Let's say you love
Ali,
chicken. If you love chicken and you eat chicken for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, then again, breakfast, lunch, dinner, then again, breakfast. After a while, it's just chicken. It's just chicken. No matter how much you're attracted to somebody, after a while...
Same thing over and over again.
It's the same thing. Life. Now, you better have more than just chicken to make this relationship work. But we have a lot to talk about, so I'm more than happy to come back again, inshallah, in the future. We can ask other issues, inshallah.
Ali, before, and I want to do that 100%. I want to do that with you, Ali. I just want to touch on one last thing, and then we'll just conclude it, bro. Okay, so I want to share some notes that I've been taking down, and I just want your opinion on this. Okay, so marriage problems. Okay, so there's a couple of phases. I call it a pandemic now. Look, there's a problem in trying to get married, and then like in terms of just trying to find a partner. Then there's one where you're married and you're trying to survive or thrive in the marriage. Yeah, and then after that, there's a divorce where you're trying to survive after the divorce, trying to sort yourself out and then stuff. And then you got co-parenting. So this is like a different phases of a pandemic. What's your view? Because, bro, in one extreme, we got people that need to get married or want to get married. And then once they get married, then it's about trying to survive in the marriage or keep it thriving. And then it gets to a next degree, another situation where, all right, so now a divorce happened. And now some people are going through so many problems, anxiety, stress, depression, what have you. And then there's the other, and then on top of that, you got the co-parent aspect of it. Where do we go from here, bro? Because what's happening, like, it's like, why should I be drawn to marriage if I have to go through all of these sort of things? That's one. And what is happening? Because it's happening on a crazy, mad scale, bro.
There is a business behind keeping people single.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast a while back, and it's funny, the guy was in the podcast, and I told him, I said, I run my own matchmaking website. I run it for we've done over 100 events. I've been in the space. I've interacted with a lot of people who run their own a lot. And I can tell you, this space is designed to keep you single. There's an entire business.
Really?
There's an entire industry to keep you single. It's nothing to do with against religion or against people or they hate you. No. It's purely business.
Just business, yeah? Okay.
Just business. And this, so you don't realize that there is a force pushing back on what you're trying to do. It's not accidental.
Yeah.
Let me just give you from a business perspective. Just purely financial.
Okay. Yeah, bro.
If you and your spouse are married, and you have children together, and you're living in a home together, that is, here in the States, you have income that is going to be taxed less because you're married.
Yeah.
You have deductibles for each child. So it's a benefit from that aspect. The society gets more stability because married people and children are going to be more stable. They're probably have more savings, et cetera. They're probably going to save. They're not going to spend money the same way single people do on alcohol, on wasteful things, on temporary things as quickly. They're usually going to spend money on buying a home or buying a car or buying
sensible things.
Sensible things.
Yeah.
there's certain industries that do not benefit from that. Other industries, yes. Okay. But let's say, for example, we can get these husband and wife divorced.
Yeah.
If we get them divorced, now they both need a place to stay.
Yeah.
Because we can take 100 couples, divorce them all, and get them to 200 couples, if we can't divorce them. But we can like social media.
Yeah.
Keep them stuff in the algorithm. We'll work on that a little bit. And what happens is 100 people will now need 200 places to live.
Yeah.
But we can't build homes and places as fast, so the price of property was going to go up.
Yeah.
When the price of property goes up, and these people also need a place to stay, they can't work like, one person works full time, one works part time, or one doesn't work at all. No, both will work full time. We have doubled the labor force, which means we can pay our employees much less because a lot more people need jobs.
Yeah.
The third thing is we're going to tax everyone higher an income tax because they're all being taxed as single people rather than married people. The fourth thing is property tax goes up because there's less houses available, which naturally drives up. I can keep going on. There's divorce attorneys. There's all these things. That
so much,
you want cat food? Oh, we want cat toys. We want cat food because all these people need still companionship. Now they have extra pets and they have extra this.
Yeah.
We're going to fill in the gaps. They have extra. The idea of buying home on a single income
Yeah.
is gone. Good luck. Now all of these people have this extra income which they would have spent towards a home, but we're not going to do that anymore. So there's all these industries that are going to capitalize on that money.
Yeah.
So now we need a lot more people in therapy. We need a lot more people in all these different layers that wasn't there before. And this is a business. But what happens when the opposite happens? All these people suddenly okay, let's talk about matchmaking, right? A swiping app. Right?
Yeah.
If everyone gets married next year, what happens to the swiping app?
It's gone. That's it. Khalas. Yeah. There's no business. Yeah.
If you're a stakeholder
Yeah.
in that and you have stock in that, you don't need people getting married. It's counterproductive. It's almost like we're a virus protection company. We want to protect computers from getting viruses. Well, what if all the computers become more like Macs, where it's hard to put viruses on them? Our virus companies go bankrupt overnight. We need some kid in the middle of nowhere making a virus that's spreading across the world. And they come back and buy our antivirus products. We need those people. We need instability. Like right now,
Ali,
the war that's happening. The war that's happening. Who's making money? Arms dealers.
Ali, wait. Hold on a second. Can I just stop you on something? Okay, what is the all right? So say it's for a business purpose. What is the higher purpose? Okay, so that you're making money. Then what? Like what? Okay, is it about?
We live in a capitalist society where everything is about money. People worship it. Everything's about money. They don't care about you and me. Average person is not cared about. We don't care about family, putting family together. Now, when it becomes problematic, where there's lots of instability. When you don't have any children, now we have the situation we have in Japan, now also in the United States, where we are depopulating the people. In other words, you need 2.1 people to refill the current people right now. If we don't have that, we're going to go through depopulation, which is what Japan is happening.
Okay.
And then when you have that, the same people just to run society that is run right now won't be here.
Yeah,
There's no one to replace you. You can't just make people have thin air.
No.
So
no,
when you don't have families anymore, you have a problem. Not that many years ago, I think 10 years ago, marriage was like at 26, 27 years old here in California. Now it's at 30, 31, I think average age for marriage. In a few years, it could be 30, 34. Now, what does this mean? Well, they're just getting older. No, not necessarily. They're probably less likely to have children. Because if the female hasn't had children up to 34 years old, she's less likely to be interested in children. Does that mean she's 100% not going to have kids? No. But she's less likely to have children. And if she does have a child, maybe one. The idea of 5 kids is gone. So people who want to have 3 or 4 kids is when they want to have kids when they're younger. Now, they don't.
Interesting.
Wait until she's like in her mid-30s, late 30s to have 5 kids. That's not normal. Most women don't. So we're not going to have the number of people as we did before. So it's a whole different thing. If you're an employer, you want the job market to be flooded with people because you don't have to pay top dollar. But if talent is rare, you have to pay more money to get that talent to come to your company. So there's a benefit, financial benefit of keeping people single, of people don't take premarital courses, just get married. And if you do find a connection, now you're probably wondering on these swiping apps, how do they keep you? How do they stay in business? Well, the way they stay in business.
Ali, no. What I want to ask you is, are the Muslim platforms the same as well? Do they operate in the same way? Okay. You're like, they're the ones doing it.
I think the Muslim platforms are often worse than the non-Muslim platforms.
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's a dishonest aspect of it. Okay, Tinder, for example.
Yeah.
Tinder is a hookup app. The same
Yeah.
company who owns Tinder owns, which is Match.com.
Yeah.
They own a bunch of other things. OkCupid, Match.com itself, all these different things. And why do they own all these different platforms?
Yeah.
Because they know different audiences are looking for different things. There
Yeah,
are people
yeah.
who are looking specifically for marriage. There are people looking for long-term relationships.
Yeah.
There are people short-term relationships, which is Tinder. That's a different audience.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
each audience is different thing, right?
Yeah.
Muslims, when it came to, hey, we want to help Muslims get married, we can copy any one of these platforms. We can copy Match.com, we can copy Bumble, we can copy OkCupid, where it's using data analysis.
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
use like eHarmony, which is a lot more personality analysis, marriage compatibility. No, we're going to copy.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to copy a hookup app for a very, very short temporary relationship, which has a very negative association where it comes for people who are looking to get married, but people who are looking for a very, very short relationship, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Tinder is the way to go. Muslims copy that. Almost
Okay.
all the major ones that are successful today have all copied and are using basically Tinder.
Yeah.
And because
Crazy.
of that,
Crazy.
guess what happens?
Yeah.
Muslims are going to attract the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And when you come and you go onto these apps, you just interact with the bottom of the barrel. You deal with people, I can't believe it. These people are not serious about marriage. These people are just
Yeah,
this. Well, what did you expect? We designed the platform saying, oh, we could copy any food. We copied fast food. Well, why don't you copy a restaurant? No, we're just doing fast food because it makes the most money. Okay, everyone's obese now. Everyone's having high cholesterol. Everyone's unhealthy. Well, what do you expect when we copy fast food? Now, with that said, there's still a glimmer of hope because there are platforms that didn't copy that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
actually do help with people getting married, and that is coming with like deeper. As I was giving an example, like on my platform, we give deep analysis on their personality, their priorities, stuff that most people, by the way, are not going to fill out. Most people are going to look at my app and say, no, that's not for me. I just want to start driving.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to
Like what we
driving
discussed
school.
before. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I don't want those people either because go ahead, you guys go use that Muslim swiping app because that's your audience. You guys are going to be much happier there. I just want
Ali,
married-
but wait, but in addition to what you're saying, do you know what is crazy as well? Because okay, so if that's like that on the Muslim apps, also what I've seen is the amount of YouTube video advice on short-term game plan. It's say for example how to attract this, certain signs to watch out for this.
And they're all
It's
selling their class, brother.
Yeah.
They're all selling their class.
yeah, and it's all
They
like
really want to help you get married, or they're selling something. Oh, sign up
Yeah.
for my bio right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Get 25%.
It's crazy.
All a sales pitch.
Yeah.
It's money.
yeah,
They're not looking to help you get married, stay married.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
money. They're all capitalizing. Hey, I have this great idea. They have figured out what the hook is going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
They have reverse engineered the video that you're going to watch. To
Yeah.
put the algorithm to say the keyword.
Everything, yeah,
to
yeah,
say
yeah.
everything you need to say because I know you're desperate. I know
Yeah.
you're co-parenting. I know you're this. I know you're that. I'm going to find all these keywords to
Yeah.
get you to trigger that button for you to pay me.
absolutely.
And when I'm
Absolutely.
talking to people, I'm like, okay, what do you? I'm not selling anything.
Yeah.
Like I have no workshop to sell. I have no class. Hey guys, make sure you sign up for my platform below. No, the whole time I'm talking about my platform, I'm not really talking about like the name of it. I just think I mentioned it once, but I'm not trying to sell my platform. My whole idea is I'm trying to show people that even if you're running your own platform,
Yeah.
if you want to really truly help people get married, then you have to build it in such a way that it has the tools for people to get married. It's like a gym.
Absolutely,
Same gym that
absolutely.
you see in the background over there.
Yeah, yeah,
That's going to help a person who's trying to become strong.
yeah.
If you want to lift weights, you go to a gym. I'll give you an example. When you walk into a gym, you'll see that certain gyms and certain parts of the gym is designed for certain complete different people.
Oh yeah,
There
yeah,
are
yeah.
machines that are just there to make you burn calories.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it. No matter
yeah.
how much you do this, you'll never develop muscle.
Yeah.
Then there's other machines and things that are like, okay, this is not for the weak.
Yeah,
These are like 70-kilogram dumbbells. No, you can't even lift it to move it.
Yeah.
This is designed for strength training. This is
Yeah.
strongman
Yeah.
competition. These are for people that are going to look like this, right?
Yeah.
To a totally different muscle setup. Different gyms itself are designed for different audiences. This is for elderly people. You don't bring elderly people to the strength. side
No,
of it.
no, no, no. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
using small dumbbells. And
Yeah.
you basically make sure again their form is correct so they don't hurt themselves. All these they have machines for certain people, free weights for certain people. So half of it is the tools of the gym that you're using, and half of it is your mindset. If we're learning anything in this video here, this is it. So it's not what gym do I join to be successful. You have to ask yourself, is this gym designed to help me get to my goals? Right. So if I'm trying to
What if you don't know, bro? Like, what if you don't know and you're like just
This is
I'm
why
yeah.
listening to podcasts here is for you to listen to others.
Absolutely.
To learn.
Absolutely.
To
Yeah.
learn from what others have figured out.
Absolutely.
So you're in a
Absolutely,
gym
bro.
that only have squat racks.
Yeah.
And you just a grandma that wants to lose weight. This is not the gym for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a fitness area right down the street that does aerobics and has machine things, a stair climber. That is probably much more aligned for what you're doing.
Yeah.
These are you can't even lift this bar. These are 45 pounds. You're like 76 years old. This is not for you.
You're gonna break something.
You're gonna break you.
Yeah.
It's gonna break you. But at the same time, the guy who's a weightlifter, who's strong, and he goes to the other gym, and it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this basic stuff, has barely any weight to it, he's not going to be happy either.
Yeah.
It's not going to get him to his goals. It's not going to get her to her goals. So first, you need the gym. And second is once you find the right gym that has the tools to help you get to your goal,
Yeah.
now you need the mindset.
Mm.
The correct work ethic, staying
Yeah.
disciplined, trying to do things the right way.
Absolutely,
and that's
bro.
what, like, to get to your success. If there's no vodka in the process and you're trying to do something, you're never going to be successful. And that's where I figured, like, when I was doing my platform setup and I'm doing my events, I said I need to design activities just like the gym has its own workout plan that's going to help people get to their goal. And most people are not going to like it. If you tell people, someone says I want to get a six pack, okay, I can help you get a six pack, but this is what you have to do. I don't need you to just do sit-ups. You have to learn diet. You can't just eat this fast food. A lot of it to do with definition has to do with diet, has to do with this, and I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's no way you're going to get to your goal. And then you, as a coach, says, look, I don't need this person as my client.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to frustrate them, and they're going to frustrate me,
Yeah.
and we're never going to get anywhere, and they're just going to complain, your workout plan doesn't work. I'd rather focus on people who are going to go the right path and are trying to get to the same goal of getting married than people who are just trying to, like, hey, I'm just here to see what's out here.
Yeah.
Wiping. Let's see what happens. I'm not trying.
Big difference, bro. Big
Yeah,
difference.
big difference.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do anything really serious right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when you want to get married. I'm not really sure. It's like if you go to a university, what are you trying to study? I'm not really sure. I'm just going to some classes.
Yeah.
Which classes are you going to? Sometimes I go to this class. Sometimes I don't even really go to the class. Sometimes I don't even know.
It's a social thing, isn't it?
It's like, this guy's never going anywhere. You're going to be here for a life. Right? And then the other person you see in the university, oh, this is my 4-year plan. I've already taken these courses. I'm taking this course here. I'm going to try to take some online courses here. I'm going to advance this. Okay, this guy in 2 years will be finished.
Yeah.
You can see two different people and say, oh, you're judging. Yes, I am 100% judging. You better believe it. Because I can tell you by your actions if you're serious or if you're a joke. And it's the same thing when it comes to marriage. I can quickly tell people from just based on what they're trying to do and how they're doing it, the kind of questions they're asking, and sometimes their behavior, that this person's not going anywhere. This person is going to stay single for a very, very long time unless something changes. It's the same thing. That's why I give that analogy of like the gym.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar. I've seen people in the gym that look exactly the same way. They come over and over and over.
I've seen it time and time again, bro. I've seen it through. Yeah.
Exercise.
Yeah.
They're doing arm workout, by the way, and the arms aren't moving. Everything's moving but the arms. So you want to correct the person. And so I know you're trying to do curls, but you're physically, the curl has to move. Physically,
It has to go on the biceps, isn't it? Yeah.
But no, I know what I'm doing, man. I know what I'm doing. Okay, you know what? You're going to hurt your back,
Yeah.
and I won't see you for the next 6 weeks because your back is when you're lifting. It's abnormal thing, but what can I do? All I can do is with someone, hey, dude, can you help me, spot me, and I can advise them.
That's
That's the person I'd rather work with.